We're here with Scott Montgomery at Interbike talking about the Scott Spark Limited. The Scott Spark came out with a lot of acclaim last year. What's changed for the 2008 limited version?
Well, the bike is still the lightest in its class for a 4.5-inch travel bike. It's sub 4 pounds, 1,790 grams, and that's for the frame and the shock. The bike for next year has had some nice improvements. This is our limited. This is the highest end bike that we make. When we went to the limited design, we really wanted to have something, a dream bike, a bike that if our product managers and engineers could build one for ourselves, cost was no object, what would we build? First, again, we start with the Spark frame. Again, we have the integrated molding process where this is all made as one tube. If I were able to stick my finger down into this tube, there would be nothing between the head tube and the top tube and the down tube. That's taking away excess material. The IMP front end is 11% stiffer and lighter than a conventional carbon welded frame. In the back, we start to use our Scott Nude Shock. This was developed with Scott and the engineers at DT. We have patents, we've cooperated on shocks and worked together on this. This uses our track lock system. When it's in the lockout position, it has zero travel. It's like riding a hardtail. The head tube angle is steep. Then with one click, you move to the traction control mode. That gives you about 2 3/4 inches of travel. That's an ideal thing to use when probably making steep climbs or in any kind of loose material. And then with one more click of the lever, it goes to full travel. And now you've got a 4.5-inch travel bike, great for descending, great for rolling hills. And 2 clicks back, and you're back to lockout. That's a patented feature that only Scott can offer. And I like to say this is a lot like having a Porsche and you're coming into a tight hairpin curve. You know you want to downshift and accelerate through that turn. You know you're coming to a corner. You want to go from no travel to full travel so you can accelerate. And that's a great feature. On to some of the component type issues. We start with the Pilot SL. Scott handlebar and stem. That's the lightest combination of bar and stem that's available in the world today. Then we use the new DT, basically what was the Pace fork, but they've revalved it, improved the O-rings. The durability has gone up substantially, yet it's still the lightest front fork in the business. Moving towards the back, Truvative carbon crank, the EXO shifters, again the integrated seat posts, same as we use on our high-end Addicts, our road frames. Again, the advantage of this is with one seat post you get very little flex side to side, and because this is the same oversized diameter, we can thin out the walls. When you do a round seat post, you need to be able to keep all the walls in a circle so the seat post can slide up and down. Since there's no post coming in here, we can use, for example, 2 layers of material on the sides of the tube and 1 layer of material in the front and back, which gives you more comfort but very little side-to-side flex. Again, you'll at the store get fitted on some sort of a fitting station and then cut it, and then you've got multiple clamps so you can move that up or down. Very little flex, very nice package. In the back, carbon stays, both seat and chain. Again, the carbon dropouts help you shave those last few grams off the overall bike. Beautiful components top to bottom, whether it's the tires, rims, wheels. It would be hard to build a more custom bike, and I think the last detail that we did that I really like is just finishing it off with a very special paint job. This year all the limited bikes have a unique paint job that's only found on the limited, so that they're very distinctive. As you can see, very subtle on the logo and branding, and all the little details, the red, CNC red, whether it's on the rebound control, whether it's on the pivot bushings, whether it's on the top of the stem, on the small details on the forks, or even on the adjustments here. So the whole thing, even the final probably touch on the nipples, the whole product just looks class, rich, and I think this is the finest bike you can buy in the world today.